Hey guys, I was out racing on the track and my slash just quit out of nowhere, so I thought it was the battery. And pick it up, find out it's not the battery. So I thought maybe the gear was stripped. Open it up, and here's the gear. Gear was completely stripped. And I thought, why did it do that? And so I checked it out, and it turns out the bearing inside the motor down in there actually is just totally gone, like just disintegrated. I don't know if you can see, but I can move there's the little bearing, part of the bearing at least, down in there. So I bought the motor rebuild kit. Comes with new bearings and stuff to fix it, and that's what I'm gonna do right now, is rebuild the motor. And I'll do a little video on how to do it. So to get to it, you have to undo this and this, and then the two on the bottom, and I have Teddy here helping me. He's my helper. Should get it done a lot faster with him helping. Yep, get in there and help Ted's. So you undo those two top bolts, and then you undo these two bottom bolts. Once you have all four of those bolts out, this literally just pops apart. Slides out like that. Set that aside. I have a differential in here. Most people have a slipper clutch. This has a slipper clutch, but it also comes extra with a differential. So I'm using that. And then you have to undo screw down here, 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 and there. 4 screws to pop this out. You'll also need to take out the screw out of here that holds this, just holds the wires in place. It's not even that necessary to have it, but helps keep the wires tidy. And I got these 4 out, so the motor is attached to this, and you can just pull the whole thing out. You could probably do it by just undoing this and pulling the motor, but I'm going to be changing the bearing on that also, so that's why I wanted to pull the whole thing out. So we got those 4 out, that undone, and you want to unhook the wires and then just pull this whole piece up. This right here adjusts the mesh for the gearing. So you have to undo that, and then this plate will come off from there. So you unscrew this all the way, and the nut stays in that plastic piece. And there's a couple little washers on there. Pull that out. And then there's a screw down here, but it'll just rotate and pop apart. You really don't even need to loosen that screw there. And this is the sensor right there for the speed sensor. And there is the motor out. And you have to undo these two screws to take this apart from this mount. Okay, so I took the plate, took the two screws out, took the plate off of here. Just goes on the two spots. And now you have to undo that. You normally loosen that, but this is loose. It must have came loose whenever the bearing went out. So that comes off. And here's part of the bearing sliding out of there. Pretty, you can tell how crooked that is. A lot of play. So you have to pop this plastic piece off, and then the fun begins. So I just pried up on this spot right here, and there it is. Set that aside. The kit comes with a new plastic piece. There's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on here to take this apart, to get this to pull apart. So got the 4 screws apart, or 4 screws off, and it comes, the kit comes with 4 new screws. You just want to try to get a little flathead screwdriver or something, just a little bit underneath this plastic cap, kind of wedge it up a little bit. See that? Get it started to pop that piece off. There's a bearing in there, all kinds of fun stuff in there. I mean, this motor's been run 2 years now, and I'm horrible at maintenance, so I'm pretty happy with how long it lasted. And then there's a copper sleeve on there that copper sleeve right here, slides right off, and you put a new piece on there. And this is, see, if you can't slide it out, you can just push on this to kind of pop it out. That, and it's magnetic, so you're fighting magnets at the same time. Wow, that's strong. And there it is. And by the looks of this, I don't know if this is going to be able to be used. That's pretty bad. I don't think I can use this. Wow. Maybe I will anyways. I shouldn't, but I might anyways. I don't know. Half of this cloth material is rubbed off of here. I don't know what that does actually. If anybody knows what that's for, please comment down below, because I don't know what that's for. It's, I'm guessing it's some kind of a high temperature handle like lubricated or something. I'm not quite sure. Here's the other part of the broken bearing. What's left of it. That's all that's left. That's all that's left of that bearing. And on this side, there's a couple little plastic washers, 3 or so. I see 3 of them, 4 of them maybe. So you want to make sure you keep those on there, and the copper sleeve slides on there. I just don't know if I should reuse this or not. I don't know. Because half of that thing is gone. The stuff is rubbed off of there. I mean, it still works. I mean, might hinder its performance, but worst it's going to do is start a fire, right? Let me know what that stuff's for and if this is important. I'm sure it's important, but if I can run it without. So I just looked in here. Sure, you probably won't be able to see it, but the bearing down in there is totally demolished also. I see a little ball rolling around in there, so that bearing is totally exploded also. So this was pretty bad. Now you have to get the bearing out of this end, so you need to push it through from this end, but this one is really demolished and welded in place, so I really don't know how well this is going to come out. But maybe that did it. Probably not, but I think it did. I think it got it out, but now it's stuck on that tool. There we go. So maybe I can push it down with a screwdriver now. There we go. There. Got the bearing popped out of there with just using this. And there's the bearing. Totally shot. I see this comes with the package comes with those little washers, I think. Good thing I didn't cut it open, or I'd cut that one in half. But it actually, I guess it comes with directions. Maybe I should read the directions now that we got it done, or half done. Comes with 2 bearings. Oh yeah, it comes with the new washers, as long as you don't lose them. And they're clear and tiny. All right. And it comes with different directions depending on what motor you're using. We don't need directions though. So I can find, there is 4, no, even more than that. Wow, how many are there? Comes with the tube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I don't even know if you'd be able to see these. They're so hard to even see. They're like clear and tiny. So it came with 6 of them. So the pack comes with 2 new bearings. You press the one bearing just into the new plastic piece, and the other bearing goes down in the end of this. You gotta slide it down in there. I used a screwdriver to get it down in there evenly, and then you have to take this, slide it in there, and do that. That was a little faster than I expected with one hand. Get this rigged up here. So the motor will slam back in there and slide the copper piece back on there, and then you just put this right over that. I'd have to wiggle it around just a little bit, and then it's back in there. You have to put the 4 screws back in place and reinstall the motor back the same way you took it out, and it will be as good as new, as long as yours didn't look as bad as mine. Mine's pretty rough, but I'm just going to use it anyways. I'll let you know how it turns out running it with half of that yellow coating missing. Okay, so now we got this apart, and we're going to replace this bearing that's right here with a new one. The only bad part about this is it's plastic, and it is most likely melted in there. Hopefully we can pop it out with a screwdriver, but I have a feeling it is going to be wedged in there that we may not be able to get it out. Oh, there we go. Push on there, pop on there, and there we go. Got it out. Now I'm going to clean that up a little bit with a toothbrush. Just to make sure the new bearing will fit in without a problem. And I think the slipper clutch at one time had scraped on that and worn it away, It's not bad. I'm probably going to order another one to replace that one, but for now we'll just use it. And here's the new bearing. Pop her in there, and you're good to go. Slide it back in, attach the 4 screws, and you got a brand new bearing on there. So, got the bearing in there, and now I'm going to put the motor plate back on. This pops in there. Well, it doesn't pop in there, but the screw, this screw right here, kind of helps hold that in place. Right there. It's not like it's super tight or anything. It kind of gives it a pivoting point, and then you just put this screw right back in there and tighten it down. And I get it just kind of started, not completely tight, because you'll want to have everything in place to do your gear mesh to get it to the right setting. So you want it to where it'll still pivot so you can set your gear mesh. That kind of holds it in there so you can get it back in and bolted down, and then try to arrange your wires however you want them. I think I'll have them on top in case I do put a fan on there, because during the summer, if you're running 3S, it's almost a must-have. And that is one of the, one of the downfalls that this truck doesn't have. I know Senton and a lot of them other ones come with a fan on the motor and the ESC. I really feel like this truck should also. Excuse me. This truck should come with a fan on the motor and ESC, because it says 3S capable, and with, I don't know, without a fan on it, it gets hot in the summer. If you're running it in the winter, it don't matter, but in the summer, it is gonna get hot. So there we go. Got the motor in there. Not completely happy with how that's fitting. I think it's because there's a little dirt in this little channel under here. That's what it was. Right down in this little spot where this goes had some dirt in it, so it wasn't fitting down there. completely. Once you get a bunch of dirt everywhere, you really have to clean stuff out to make sure it's in properly, or you can really start messing a lot of stuff up. And just put these 4 screws back. Hold that in. Well, I ran into a little issue with a set screw stripping out when I was putting the motor back in. So now I am trying to drill out the set screw. Kind of just stepped it up from one bit to another, slowly drilling it out. Hopefully it works. Let me know if you have any questions or anything you want to see. Oh, and then you just have to put this cover, slide that back on. Let me know if there's something you want to see, or if you want more detail, less detail, what you want me to go over next. Something that could help you out. And if you think somebody could benefit from watching this, please share it and like it and subscribe. All right, stay tuned for more track build videos coming soon, and also the Traxxas UDR. I will be getting that Thursday. I'm excited about that, and can't wait to see it. All right, thanks guys. Here we are, got a 50 tooth spur and like a 18 pinion, so it's like cogging when it starts, but I bet it's super duper fast. Totally worst possible setup for a track, but we'll just try it. She's flying now. I bet you the motor's already hot.